Hi, it's Martin Gibbons at People Maps here, and every year around about this time, maybe a wee bit earlier, I, like most people, get my letter off to this chap here, Santa. And my letter tends to go something like this. Dear Santa, would you please complete the personality questionnaire so that we can all know what kind of person you really are? Now, needless to say, I never get a response, so I thought we would take today and see if we can figure out what personality type Santa actually is. So, let's go to the board. I've asked a few questions, I've been doing some research. He didn't fill in the questionnaire, so we're going to have to figure it out ourselves. And let's see if we can figure out what personality type this wee chap actually is. So if we go over to the whiteboard, and let's see what we know about Santa. Now, what we're trying to figure out essentially is where Santa might sit on the personality map, the People Maps map, if you've seen the map. Now, like any map, it has essentially a north to south and a west to east. It's not called a map for nothing. And essentially everybody, you being Santa Claus, all sit somewhere on the personality spectrum. So there are certain things that we can do. Okay, the ideal scenario, of course, would be that Santa completes the personality questionnaire because the questionnaire is really clever and it surfaces and reveals things that we generally wouldn't figure out or even know about ourselves. That's the truth of it. However, in the absence of that, we can at least have a stab at it and see what we can figure out and understand about Santa Claus. So what do we know about Santa? Well, I asked around, I talked to some kids, asked some people, and we came up with some words, and you might have some words yourself. And here's the words that we came up with, some of the words anyway. One of them was jolly. I think that's fair to say. Most people would agree, yeah, Santa Claus is a pretty jolly kind of person. So I thought, yeah, we'll go with that word, that's a great word. And then we also looked at another word which came up, which was generous. I thought that's a really good word, and I doubt there's any more generous because, hey, he's out there doing his thing and giving up a lot of presents and a lot of gifts to a lot of kids. So, generous, probably to a fault, absolutely. But then we looked a wee bit closer and we thought, yeah, but what else is going on here? I mean, quite a lot here. He's got to get through an awful lot of stuff in a very short space of time, and you know what? He actually has to be pretty organised. You see, he has to plan everything to happen, absolutely come together on the one date. No point if it happens on the 26th or the 27th or the 28th or the 1st of January. Has to happen on the 25th. He has to be extremely well planned and extremely well organised. So that's pretty cool. And the other thing we know about him, well, we also have to, I think he has to be a pretty determined kind of chap. I think he has to really know what he's about. He can't get sidetracked. He has to get the job done. So there's going to be a lot of task energy involved there. He's got to get the job done because he largely has to do it himself. So when we looked at all these wee words, sorry, all four of these words, I have to say I'm not much closer to an answer because jolly, okay, jolly, good for a party, good fun, always get a smile on his face, generally good company. Well, that would probably put him somewhere in the southeast of the personality map. Now, the southeast is still a pretty big territory and there's still a lot of diversity in personality, but jolly people tend to be found in the southeast. However, when we started to look at these kind of words of generous and selfless and considerate towards others, well, nah, it's not really quite this gig that's going on here. Really what you're starting to see is actually, in the southwest, this is much more the kind of words, this is the kind of words that you see with people who come from this southwest of the personality map. But that didn't answer, because I thought, well, great, at least we can say he's in the southern hemisphere, he's in the south of the personality map. But we looked a wee bit closer, and this thing came in, and you're thinking, boy, this guy has to be organised. He has to plan a whole year in advance. He has to organise so many things that have to come together at that one time. And that takes supreme discipline and a lot of organisation. And that tends to be one of the real qualities that you find up here in the Northwest. But we weren't finished there, because, as I say, I see this chap being pretty determined. I see Santa as being someone who knows what they're about. Yeah, he's got a big heart. But you know, you can find people up here with a pretty big heart as well. But he's a man on a mission. He's got task orientation like you wouldn't believe. He has an awful lot of children that he wants to please and satisfy and meet their needs. And you know what? That takes a lot of determination. That takes a certain single-mindedness that generally is found up here in the northeast. So, where does it leave us? Well, actually, not very much further forward. I think what it leaves us with is that this is somebody pretty special. This is somebody not really of our species, because it's very unlikely you will find a single individual to encompass such diversity in personality. So I think on this note we have to hand it to Santa and say, well, we thought you were pretty special beforehand, but having looked at your personality profile and some of the things that are coming up there, I think we have to say you're even more special than we possibly ever realised. Have a great Christmas, everybody. It's Martin from People Maps on behalf of all the People Maps gang and all the people and all my clients and all the people that have supported us throughout the year and used our stuff, bought our stuff, used our free stuff, or just been in touch. Thanks for last year, for 2012, and we wish you the very best for next year, for 2013, and hopefully this chap will be good to you too. I'm Martin Evans. Thanks very much. Catch you next year.